Hi guys, so I'm back with a baby names video. I haven't done one of these videos in so long, but I used to do lots of them until I took a little bit of a break from vlogging generally. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Lauren and I am a mum of two, have two little girls, and I'm also the owner and founder of a breastfeeding clothing company called the Milky Tee Company. And I'm wearing one of our t-shirts now, so it has hidden zips on each side so that you can breastfeed. I'll not chat too much about that because I've spoken a lot about it on this channel, but if you want any more info, I'll put some down below in the description. And also, if you watch throughout this whole video, there might just be a little discount code that pops up at some stage. So today I thought I would do autumnal baby names, as it is October, and I'd actually planned to do this in September but got a bit busy, but it's still autumn, so we can still do autumnal baby names. So if you are due over the next month or so, or about a month and a half before we get into winter, then some of these names might appeal to you. Right, I'll stop blabbering and let's get into this. So the first one on my list is the name Amber. So, oh, by the way, I will be doing a mixture of girls' names and boys' names. So there'll be 5 girls' names and 5 boys' names. So yes, the first one is Amber, and I really love this name. I think it's just a really lovely name for a little girl. And obviously it comes from the kind of yellowy, orangey kind of coloured jewel. And that colour is so symbolic of autumn, you know, because the leaves turn to that kind of amber color before they obviously fall to the ground for winter. And yeah, I just think it's a beautiful name for autumn, and it's quite a popular name. It tends to be in the top kind of, certainly the top 50. And yeah, I just think it's a really lovely autumnal name. Second on my list then is a boy's name, and it's the name Hunter. And this is one of the names that I have on my baby boy list, because if I ever have a boy, because I have 2 girls, Hunter I really love as a name. I think it's very cool, and it's very good for this time of year as well, because obviously a lot of the animals start to hunt this time of year to gather things for the winter, to keep them going over the winter, or if they're hibernating, they'll go and they'll gather nuts and different things that they need. And yeah, so it's a very autumnal name. And I just think it's quite a strong sort of boy's name, and yeah, really like it. It is growing in popularity, and actually it is becoming more popular because in 2017 it reached the top 100 for the first time since baby name records began in 1904. So it's definitely become popular in the last couple of years. Right, third on my list then, well, we're doing autumn baby names, so the name is Autumn. And this is mainly a girl's baby name. I mean, nowadays anything goes, so you know, you can use it for a boy, girl, but I just think for autumn, what a perfect name to name your child if they're born in a month during the season of autumn. Or fall if you're watching from America, then yeah, fall you will know it as, more than autumn. But yes, if you are looking for a perfect baby name for autumn, then I just don't think you can get any better than Autumn. And I actually know a little baby born, I think last week, to another vlogger called Amy, from Amy Being Mum, and she just called her daughter Autumn. So yeah, I think it's a really lovely name and perfect for this time of year. Okay, so next on my list is the name Radley, and this means red meadow. And again, it's because of the colours that it symbolises over this time of year. All the leaves are turning to that lovely red color, and then orangey and yellows, and all those tones obviously symbolize autumn. And I really love the name Radley. It's something quite different, something a little bit more unique. So if you're trying to get a name that is autumnal but you want it to kind of be a little bit different, then I really like Radley. Okay, next on my list is the name Orla, which can be spelled either O-R-L-A, which is the English spelling, or you can spell it the Irish spelling, which is O-R-L-A-I-T-H. So you can choose whichever spelling that you like. I am obviously originally from Northern Ireland, so I actually know more of the Irish spelling. I just think this is a beautiful name, and it means golden princess. This idea again of golden and all those colours just seem very autumnal to me. I mean, it is this sort of name, again, you could use any time of the year if you had a blonde-haired child, because it's golden princess. I think it's just a beautiful name for anyone. If the baby comes out with a load of blonde hair, then maybe you're like, yeah, Orla's the name for them. Next is another O letter, but this time is a boy's name, and it's the name Oakley. And Oakley means sort of a grove of oak trees. So yes, again, thinking of this whole idea of autumn and nature, then I think Oakley is a really lovely name. And yeah, it just conjures up these images of oak trees, which this time of the year have turned to these gorgeous autumnal colours. And I think Oakley is another one that's quite trendy, something a little bit different. Doesn't tend to be like ridiculously popular. In fact, back in, I think it was 1997, there were only 17 Oakleys born that year. It's now in the hundreds, so it's gone from only 17 in 1997 to like now there are hundreds of babies called it, but it still isn't as popular as some of the more sort of traditional names, such as like Oscar and Oliver and names like that. So if you're wanting something a little bit different that also you can be tied into autumn, then I really like Oakley for a boy. Okay, next it's the name Aster, spelled A-S-T-E-R, which might be a little bit unusual to some of you, and it is a very unique name, but I think it's really beautiful. Now it's mainly a girl's name, but I actually think it could be used for both, so it's quite a unisex name. So an Aster is actually a flower that blooms in the autumn or fall, if you're watching from America, and so it's also the Greek word for star, and which I think is a lovely connection. It's a lovely name, and it's also the flower of the month of September. Even though we've now passed September because we're into October, maybe if your baby was conceived in September, you might want to use that one, or if you're hoping to get pregnant and end up giving birth next September, then I think Aster is a really good one to add to your list. Okay, so the next name is the name Lennox, L-E-N-N-O-X. And yeah, another name that I personally really like and think is quite a cool name. And I was actually surprised by the meaning. I didn't really know. I was doing a bit of research into sort of autumnal names, and this one came up, and I was like, oh, I wouldn't have thought that it was autumnal, but it's actually of Scottish and Gaelic origin, and it means many elm trees. I think it's a really nice connection there to autumn. And yeah, just something a little bit different as a name. Okay, so my next name is the name Olive, and this is my final girl's name, and I think this name is just beautiful. It really suits a baby, a little girl, it suits an adult. I think it's a really great name that can kind of cover all of those years. It used to be seen quite as quite an old-fashioned name, but it's definitely become more popular recently, with a few celebrities calling their babies Olive. I'm pretty sure Drew Barrymore's is called Olive. I need to double check that, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she has a little girl called Olive. And yeah, I think it is just a really lovely name, and it's got a connection to autumn because of the autumn olive, which is a type of olive which is yellow throughout the sort of springtime and the summer, and then as it goes into the autumn time or fall time, then it turns red. And yes, I just think Olive is a beautiful name for a little girl born in autumn. And the final name on my autumnal baby names list is the name Woody, and that's spelled W-O-O-D-Y. And I've been talking lots about trees in this video, so this is, I guess, another one obviously related to trees, because woody means an area of land covered in trees. And the name actually became popular, or even more popular. It has actually been around for a number of years as a shortened version of the name Woodrow, but it became especially popular after the US President Thomas Woodrow Wilson. So when his presidency ended, there were a lot of babies called Woodrow, and then it was shortened to Woody, and now it is used as a name on its own. Just people are naming their babies Woody, and again, it's something I think is just slightly different. You don't tend to get loads of Woodies. You obviously have quite a few famous Woodies: Woody Harrelson, Woody Allen. Zoe Ball has a little boy called Woody. So, oh, sorry, my phone is ringing. Perfect timing, but we're nearly finished, so I'll phone them back in a minute. If you can hear a phone ringing, that's what it is. But yeah, I just think Woody again has a connection to trees and autumn without it being quite blatantly, obvious that it's an autumnal name, so you can use it any time of the year, but I do like it if you've got a little baby due around this time. So those are some of my favorite autumnal baby names. I'd love to hear any that you have. Why not leave any in the comments below, or even just let me know what your favorite baby names are. If you want to see any more baby names from me, any specific kind of names, I've done Irish baby names, Greek baby names, I've had a whole range of different Italian ones. So if there's any specific baby names you would like me to talk about or chat about, then let me know and I'll try and look into some for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back very soon with another one. Okay, take care. Bye.